Joining me today ahead of his title unification bout at CFFC 133, the current CFFC interim lightweight champion, Black Forest, Morquez Forest. You've seen him time and time again. He's back. How's it going today, Morquez?
It's going great. Thank you for having me.
Always. So 6th fight in just over 15 months. I haven't pulled the record yet, but I'm pretty sure it's one of the most active under the CFFC banner, if not regional as a whole. This is also your 7th within 2 years with the promotion too. So like, I know without being like a Philly guy where most of the shows are, like you have to be one of the most active under the banner itself too. But you know, all those bullshit stats aside, how are things coming into this next one?
Oh man, everything's coming along, taking everything day by day. I'm taking this guy serious and I'm upping my game. That's all I can do.
And next up is, it's called a step up this time too. Like it is an up in your game next one. Robert Watley, former LFA champion. He's been in the PFL. He currently has the undisputed, kind of disputed now because there's an interim title itself. I think pretty much we all kind of thought he was not going to be back, that he was probably going to be on Contender or PFL. And I'm sure if he actually did interviews, he'd probably say the same thing too. But, you know, with the win here, like besides just unifying, where do you think this puts you?
I think it puts me right where I need to be. I think that I get past Watley and, the sky's the limit. I think that I can end up getting a short notice call, Contender series. I'm going to just continue to be patient and just take everything day by day and go from there.
And, last time out, you had to come up to enemy territory. And not only was it opponent enemy territory, the commission stepped in and had issues too. Everyone had an issue with you up in the New Jersey for some reason. This time, Nick, you're the hometown kid. And it's weird because like, Watley's in a situation where there's not going to be a hometown show for him because I think he's like in Virginia, if not still in Maryland. So he'd have to travel regardless. Like I said, last time out, you kind of had adversaries everywhere. How's it kind of feel to not have to put up with that shit this time?
Yeah, man, it feels great. Like, I'm home, like this is the biggest opportunity for me. If they're calling him the champion, it's like he got to come defend his title on my home turf, So it's going to be, I feel like it's going to be one of them fights where whoever wins, they get that big opportunity that they're looking for. And that's just what it is.
Nice. And you know how I usually do these. I only talk about the fight about 2 to 3 questions. So last question on the actual fight itself. And I don't think I've ever actually bothered asking you this with the prior interviews. How do you actually see this one going?
Yeah, no one asked me that. The only way I see this going is obviously me winning, but in terms of like finishing or anything like that, Wiley's pretty game, but I feel like this is going to be one of them fights where I have to bring it to him. I'm a pressure fighter. Everyone knows that. And I just feel like I'm going to have to bring him into that dog fight because I see how he is. Like, he gets to that point where he gets comfortable and he makes people fight his fight, and I can't let him do it. I can't allow him to do that. So I think that if I can make this a dog fight, one, it's not going to be boring. I don't like doing boring fights. So make it a dog fight. Make it exciting. We're in Tampa, so I want to put on a show.
Nice. And I kind of want to add one more about this fight itself too. More so because I think it's kind of been exposed in the last fight that someone plays possum every single fight. Do you think that it's something that's probably not going to happen this time because like he is always game? He is kind of always waiting for the counter if he's not moving forward first.
Anything can happen in the cage. I don't. He's experienced. So even when you look at his finishes and how he comes to fight, he's patient at the same time he's very, very collected. So I don't see me going in there thinking that, I'm gonna just fool this guy. But when you're in the cage, anything can happen, and my setups are great. So we'll see if how he handles it.
Outside of your fight, I kind of mentioned it before we hit record. There was a certain fight that happened on Fury FC this past weekend. When it got announced, I reached out to you and said, damn, like that opponent, I don't know who your friend is, but her opponent is game. You told me to keep an eye out. So I made an extra effort to watch the prelims of this past weekend's card. And goddamn, Stone Cold Stephanie Calderon. Holy shit.
Badass. Yeah.
I mean, I watched her opponent, Madison Gwynn's prior fight before that, and it sold me on her opponent in that fight too. This one, from start to finish, I need to see more of Calderon at this point. Were you able to catch it live, or have you seen the replay, or just the victory pose? What did you get to see on your end?
No, I had to watch the replay, man. I was working, but we're sponsored by the same company, led by No Man. That's where you can purchase one of my T-shirts, her T-shirts. We've created a team, and he only has winners in his circles, and she's undefeated. She's a freaking dog, and she's exciting to watch.
Yeah, that was one. I know coming into it, I've only seen actually I think the opponent she beat prior, that her team reached out to kind of hey, ahead of the next one, would you mind having her on? And I was like, all right, cool. Who'd she lose to? And it was literally the next day. I think you shared it and she shared the next coming fight. And I was like, damn, it was 4 fights in a row, 4 titles.
Yeah.
I didn't even catch on. She's not young. I'll go that way. She's starting her. She's my age, just starting her career.
Yes, she is. Yeah. But she's collecting them belts, man.
Yeah, and looks like she's been there for years.
Mm-hmm.
Being an Ami is still insane. But outside of that, how else has things been in the gym? I know you're at Big Brother and all this and all that. Where are you working at for this camp?
So this camp has been a little bit different. I've been mostly at Champions MMA with Coach Ross and Coach Rudy. Solomon's been out there. Amanda's been out there helping as well. So it's been a little different because we have to work around my new work schedule. But in terms of the work ethic, it's still there. Coach Ross pushes me. They work around my schedule. So if I have to come in early, I come in early. They'll be there. If I got to stay late, they there. So it's been a little bit different. I haven't been able to train as much as I would like to, in terms of cross training with Billy Q or going to Kaizen or Fusion and stuff like that. But what I've been doing now and how we've been preparing has been for this one opponent versus getting the different looks from other individuals. We've created the style that we're going against, and we've just been working against that. So it still works out.
I asked the co-main event already. Max is coming in with the hairstyle. We getting another Black Forest special?
Man, I gotta do something now because Max being competition. So I gotta. We haven't talked about what we're gonna do, but I know our styles are gonna be different. But yeah, I got a plan. I gotta show up. I gotta beat him in a hairstyle because he's beaten me a few times with the swirls. But I gotta come up with something crazy. Actually, I do got something planned, but we're gonna see how it turns out.
Because I was joking with him, I actually said to him too, Gustavo Vizamil, he does a hair setup too, but his tends to be a straight color. I think he's done purple before and blue. Doesn't do the designs, the swirls, the Clover shaved out, none of the fun stuff basically. But
yeah,
I told him, I was like, no, Rob and the team has to kind of put together a performance bonus of the fashion show setup there because you and Max always bring it. And it's Tampa, so you might not get yelled at time for the weigh-in either. So actually really will be a reveal. Yeah. But July 26th, we're just a week away. Unification bout. It's always fun because we just lost all the CFFC champions.
Yeah.
Team McCline's now in the UFC. Jose Perez is in PFL. Everyone's just getting signed, which usually means this win might be going somewhere.
Eyes is on someone. Some eyes is on someone.
So, and it also helps you're the only title fight, so it's not like they're focusing on 2 different areas. But you've been on here enough. Everyone kind of knows the next gimmicks I do. Mike's all yours. I know you're wearing the Rain and Berries hat. You have the shirt on already. Mike's all yours. Kind of shout out the sponsors. Mike's all yours. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Shout out Rain and Berries. Shout out led by No Man. My boy Joey. Shout out to Team Reaper. K4 Studios, Warrior Lab with James and Ben. Appreciate you guys. clientele, and I got so much support right now, and I appreciate all you guys continuing to sponsor me.
Fantastic. You know, and it's next Friday. It's so close. July 26th, Florida State Fairgrounds in Tampa, Florida. I actually said it right this time, unlike on the Max Quinones interview. CFFC 133 streaming on UFC Fight Pass. You versus Robert Watley. Best of skill, and look forward to watching it as always. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, brother. Thanks for having me.